Yo, what's going on, guys? How you guys doing? We got another gameplay review video today. This should be an interesting one. I actually know a lot of the people in this game. This is a rank 2 game that was sent to me. It's a killer game. It's Ghostface playing at rank 2 on a really rough map. Temple of Purgation is like one of the toughest maps, man. Like, this map is rough. I feel like so often you get this map and it's so big and there's so many pallets and dude, it's a toughie. It's always a toughie. Funny enough, Disco is actually kind of a friend of mine. I've known him for like 6 years, and I know Free Kill as well. I know these two, and I know the killer that actually submitted this footage is someone that I play against pretty frequently as well. So this should be interesting. These are a lot of people that I know of just from playing in game. So we're gonna see how this goes. You're queued up as Ghostface. You're playing at a pretty high level play against people that I know are good. And first off, let's just see what you're running. Like, before we do anything else. Right now, your perks are Whispers, Barbecue, Corrupt, and Sloppy, which I think is a pretty good combination, honestly. Like, with Ruin being gone, Corrupt is a good substitute. I think even before Ruin was gone, I think Corrupt was a good substitute. So I think it's just a good perk to run. Sloppy is obviously good on Ghostface because, you know, you're stealthy. So if you're applying them with Sloppy and then it takes them a long time to heal and they stay injured, them staying injured is good because you can sneak up on them later and one-shot them. Barbecue and Whispers are both fantastic tracking perks. So this is definitely a solid build. You don't have any chase perks though, which is interesting. You don't have enduring. You don't have anything to help you in a chase. So I'm curious to see if your playstyle is more, you know, more leaning towards stealthing. And these add-ons, let me do a quick Google search and see. Okay, it looks like these add-ons are, the yellow one is reduces the recovery rate, which is what I thought it was, but I wasn't 100%. So basically you like once you use your stock power and it goes on cooldown, it comes off cooldown a little bit faster. And the other one is the knife belt clip, which reduces the time it takes to stalk someone when not leaning. So if you just like stand there and stalk someone, it goes a little bit faster. So let's see how this plays out. This is a rough map. But I know these survivors are pretty decent, so I'm really curious to see how this goes. Okay, so you're pausing or whatever again at the beginning. I'm not really sure what exactly is going on. Okay, you're looking around. There's no Whispers. Oh, they have Object, which is interesting. That kind of fucks over your stealth game a little bit. But it looks like you can get a free stock here. Okay, interesting. Interesting. I feel like I want to explain real quick what you just did. What he just did is he stalked this guy the whole way to 99%, and he left just that little bit there, so that at any point now, if he finds him again, he can just pop his abilities, stalk him for like half a second, and it's basically like the equivalent of a 99 like tier 2 Myers or whatever, but only on that person. And that lasts the entire, well, it lasts up until he gets hit. As long as you don't hit him, it should work. Let's see if you do the same thing to him. Interesting. So you're 99ing everyone. Interesting. But you're gonna sneak up on him and finish it off and get the hit. Okay. Disco does not seem to be paying attention at all. Very interesting stuff. You just sneak up and get a good I mean, that was a really good, that's really good Ghostface. I don't really have anything to say about that. That's like chef's kiss Ghostface gameplay right there. You literally you just stalked around, you were sneaky, you found an angle on a survivor on a gen that he didn't see you at, and you stalked him the whole way to full, came up, finished the stock, got a hit on him. That was like textbook perfect Ghostface play. That one guy does have Object though, which is gonna make it really hard to sneak on him, but everyone else in the match you should be able to sneak on. You're getting a lot of good stock value here. You 99 that guy. Interesting. Like, see that situation, I'm not sure why you don't just finish that guy off. See, like, now you kind of waited until you're in a rough spot, and like, I don't know how well this is gonna work. I like that you're trying to crouch here with mind games, but I think they can still see you. I don't think that wall is big enough that it hides you. I like that you're trying it, but I'm not 100% sure about that. Before I continue this, I want to go ahead and say that this stock only lasts like 40 seconds or something. So you like popping this while they're by this really safe pallet is really risky. Like, I'm not really sure why you didn't just finish it here. Sorry, I went way too far back. Like right here, like she's like kind of running at you. Like, look, she's running at you. It doesn't seem like she sees you, and it doesn't really look like there's anything too strong here, right? Like, I don't really know what this structure is. It's really hard to see because, like, you know, this video's quality isn't the greatest, and, you know, it's a little bit harder. It's hard for me to see, but I don't think that's anything that looks that strong. So, like, hypothetically, if you didn't stop this right here, if you would have just kept stalking her and then ran at her, you probably could have got it down right here. like I like that you're implementing like 99ing people into your strategy. I think that's a really good thing to do, but it's a little bit scary because here, like you know, you chase her now and she starts breaking you out, so you basically have to finish off the stock, otherwise you won't be able to do it because you won't have your power. And then you end up finishing off the stock, and now she's in like a safe area, so now it's kind of scary. Even right here, like I actually don't know. I know I'm rewinding a lot, guys. I'm sorry. Even right here, like if you would have just held W here, I think you would have caught her. I don't think she had enough distance to make this loop. This is a big loop. So like, I also love that you're trying things like I think a lot of people don't do this as Ghostface, and it's really wrong to not do. If you're playing Ghostface and you're not trying shit like this, then you're not actually trying to get better at the killer. He's really good at stuff like this, like crouching, like things that have kind of higher walls. This one even might work. I don't know. I haven't really tested this one too much myself, so I'll be the first to admit that I'm not 100% on this one. But crouching and hiding yourself and then like doing little mind games like this can sometimes catch people in really bad spots. So I really like that you're trying it. Although you definitely could have held W and just hit him. Like you definitely could have held W. So it's weird. I like that you're trying things, but I just think that was the one time that you shouldn't have tried it. See, now you now you break the pallet and she's gone. So you waste that entire stock, which is really unfortunate. You're trying to get an angle on this dude, but you kind of just let him unhook. You should have got closer. I think you're trying to make sure you're staying hidden. But if I were you, I would have gotten closer. You could have easily stalked that guy while he was unhooking. Interesting. You're playing this really stealthy. Oh, you saw her right there. It looks like you're trying to hold your stock off because we're at Shack. All right, you pop it right before she breaks you out. That was really good. Your Ghostface playstyle is really interesting. I like it. Very unfortunate though, because again, you're at a really strong tile, so it's really I don't know why you're not breaking this. There's no way. There's no, unless she was like, I mean, I guess you were more like testing the survivor to see how good or bad she is. But if the survivor is even remotely good at the game, there's no way you get a hit there. You just got to kick that pallet ASAP. All right, you're gonna chase her over here. See, this is one of the big things that make this hard though, because like you get that stock off at Shack, and now it's like you have a limited amount of time to catch her, and she has all these strong pallets. And yeah, like that stock goes to waste, which is kind of a shame. Looks like you're gonna bail. I think that Dwight over there might have been the guy that was 99'd, but you're ignoring that to chase him, which I guess isn't crazy. I mean, he is injured. This pallet isn't that strong. You're trying to mind game it. All right, that was an okay little move right there. He's probably gonna do a fake. Okay, yeah, you fell for the fake. Okay, so all right, that works. I mean, eventually if you dance around it enough, it'll work. But just to generally talk about pallets like this, when you play pallets like this after they're thrown, it's really interesting the way you do it, because it really depends on the survivor that you're playing. I personally know Disco, like I know him, like he's somebody I've known for years. But it's somebody, you really have to base it based off the play style of the survivor. Like even if I didn't know Disco, you can kind of probably figure out like pretty quickly into chasing him that he's like a good survivor player, and he knows like all the dumb little mind games, right? And when a survivor is good like that, like they're gonna do all those dumb mind games. For instance, like right here, like you're getting enough distance that he's gonna have to vault, right? Like in your head, you're like, okay, I'm getting close enough that the survivor is gonna have to vault. You know what I mean? Otherwise, he's gonna get hit. So I'm just gonna double back and meet him on the other side. But he knows that. Like he knows that, and he knows that you're thinking that, which is why he fake vaults and then doesn't, and baits you into doing this, right? That's a very common thing you'll see. And a good way to counter that, like if you think a survivor is going to do that, a really good way to counter that is to walk up, turn around for like a split second and make it look like you're falling for it, and then be like, psych nerd, and then come around the corner really fast, right? They will not expect it, because sometimes like even if you think that they're going to fake vault, even if you just like come around the corner and you're just like, yeah, fuck you, you're not actually gonna vault, sometimes they'll still have time to vault. Like they'll be looking for you, so sometimes they'll still have time to get the vault off. So the best way to do it, if you know this is coming, is to like kind of pretend that you're falling for it, and then be like, fucking psych nerd, and then come around the corner and, you know, fuck their shit up. But either way, that's just something I wanted to get out real quick, just because I think it's an important thing to do. Like, if you're playing killer at a high level against people that are doing window or fake vaults very often, I think it's a really important thing to do. Looks like you're looking for a flashlight real quick. You might get DS'd. Nope. Flashlight was there, just you were a little bit too far behind. Get the hit on her. She just gives you a hit for free, which is strange. But also good. I mean, we take those. We take those. There's a dude here. You see him. It's the Yui. See, that's what I'm talking about. Or sorry, it's not a Yui. It's a Nia. See, that was perfect. Like, that's perfect use of your crouch as Ghostface. More people need to be doing that, man. I don't see enough Ghostfaces doing that, and it makes me so sad. Like, you don't even know how happy it makes me to see you actually using your crouch mid-chase and, like, using it as a mind game. That's something that not enough people utilize. She also went for a fake vault. See right there, you just did it. That was perfect. That was literally perfect. You just did it right there. You just happen to get cut by a dead heart, but then you still got her. All right, I actually want to rewind now. That's really funny. I just said this, and then you just did it. Like, right here, you see that you like you take like a side step to the left, and then you're like psych, and then you keep coming, right? Like right here, you take like a little side step, and you're like, nah, I know exactly what you're doing. That was perfect. You literally played this palette perfect. That was amazing. Well done. And it's also really good of you to know that that palette isn't safe, and after it's thrown to play it. That's honestly, I feel like a lot of this review is going to be me pointing out things you're doing right, honestly. Like, this palette, you can identify that, you can look at that palette, and you can be like, that palette is not safe, which means you're not forced to kick it, right? Like, if you take the time to kick this palette, that allows this survivor to run down here and make it to more pallets, right? And then that ends up being like a super long chase. So the fact that you can identify that as a playable palette and play it is really smart. And I noticed before that you were kicking pallets, so I think you do a really good job of identifying that, which is really good and smart. You're playing a lot of this correctly, and you're even slugging here, which I think is not a bad play. You definitely can get some map pressure here, because these guys are both injured, so this is actually really smart as well. I want to see you zone this guy. I want to see you zone him. Okay, you're actually going to try to play this, which is a little... This is probably not it, because that pallet's safe. Okay. I think you could have zoned that guy. I think you should have zoned that guy. I think at that point, you basically need to either commit, like the second she drops that pallet, you need to either commit to this. Like, okay, so like that dude that just ran away is clearly going to run to his teammate, right? So right here, you have to make a decision. You have to be like, okay, either this bitch right here fucking dies, or I'm leaving to go pick that guy up, right? Like, you have to make that decision right now. You kind of like, you seem like you were split. I will tell you that something you could have done here, because you're in the corner of the map. So if you guys don't know, like, the corner of the map is right here. Like, there's nothing that way. There's literally nothing over there. Like, we're in the corner of the map. Because you're in this position and there's a pallet, you can zone her with the pallet break, which is another thing that killers need to do more often. Zoning is huge. So basically what you do, I thought you were going to do it and then you didn't. So here, let me show you exactly what I mean. So you see how, like, when you come over here, she reacts by going this way, right? Like, that's like the basic of survivor looping. Like, they'll react to what you do and go to the opposite. So right now, if you would have came back around and then kicked this pallet, as you were kicking the pallet, she would have been standing right about here. So she would have had like nowhere really safe to go. She would have went this way or that way, which both directions don't really have anything that close. And you probably would have been able to down her really shortly after kicking this pallet. That's kind of what zoning is. And this was a really good example to zone. Like, you could have zoned. It's a good opportunity to zone. But you didn't, and instead you like went for a hit that was pretty unlikely. Again, these gameplay reviews are literally pinpointing every single mistake you make. So you're still playing this match really well. So don't, like, I don't know. I don't want to make it seem like I'm giving you too much shit. You're still playing this match super well. Like, even right there, that was an amazing mind game. That was an amazing mind game. The Nia fell for it. She did not see you crouching around that and moonwalking. That was perfect. Like, you played that phenomenally. You're still playing this really well, but you definitely could have gotten a hit there. This pallet is also not safe. You respected it, which is a little bit... That's too low. She can see you doing that. See, this is where, like, not running enduring and, like, respecting pallets kind of fucks you over, because you're spending way too much time on this pallet that isn't safe. This is where, like, earlier when I said you don't have any chase perks, enduring would help you a lot here, because you wouldn't have to worry about playing this pallet. You know what I mean? See, she just played that really well, and you just kind of fell for her mind games. That's a shame. Looks like you're gonna go for this Nia again, though. No. Okay, you're back on the U8 this pallet again. See, this is a little bit like this pallet alone is not safe, but the fact that there's this really strong window, like the fact that this window happens to be right here, kind of makes this pallet a little bit less safe. Like it sucks because like this pallet isolated, you definitely could play, but I don't think you're wrong to kick this pallet with this window existing. I feel like any little mind game you do, she might just be able to run to the window, right? I still think you maybe could have played that, but this isn't a crazy idea either to kick it. The pallet's still up, or did you kick this pallet? I already forgot. You're chasing her around. Looks like she's leaving. You should be able to get it down in here. I don't think, unless she has balanced landing. And she does. It's pretty unfortunate. But I still think she's not going to get anywhere. Yeah, she's still not getting anywhere. All right. Down her. You got to watch out for Flashlight Magoo. Look out for Flashlight Magoo. Okay, you're good. No Flashlight Magoo. I think they're out doing gens. It wouldn't have been crazy to bait that. You know that one dude's going for a flashlight, so like it wouldn't have been crazy to like bait that pickup for a second, but this is also not bad. You get a hook on her. You're already down to 2 gens though. Like that's kind of what sucks. Like you've been playing this match so well, but like the couple opportunities you had to like get a lot of map pressure or like snowball the map pressure, you slipped up on. And now they're kind of just flying through gens. You do find the knee over here. I find it really interesting that you went back that way. I guess you just knew. That was also a really good mind game. You're doing this really well. Just to explain what happened right here. Here, let me show this. I mean, I do find it interesting that you went back to that gen. I might not have guessed to go back there, but really interesting. So right here, this is really interesting. So what this survivor did is she ran around this corner. And then her eyes here, her eyes. These are her eyes, okay? Okay? They were looking back this way, waiting to see if you were going to chase her or not. Like in her mind, she's like, okay, is he going to hold W and chase behind me? Or is he going to go to the other side and, you know, try to cut me off? So because you run up and you don't show your red light at all, you immediately turn and make sure that your red light's not showing, and you kind of like take a second to do it. It's enough to make her think that you were going to the other side. She honestly, I think she misplayed this a lot. Like she kind of like turned around and went to that window really fast. Like she could have went like this way. She could have did like 10,000 other things that she didn't do. So this was definitely a lot of her misplaying, but you still baited her into misplaying, which was really, really good. Like you just straight up outplayed her 100%. So. You got her there, and this is also really good here to snowball this map pressure, finding whoever was here, especially if it's a dude that's 99. It's not. This is definitely good to do. This is like snowballed map pressure. There's only 1 gen left. Both the survivors are over here. You know that. So this is a really good play that you're making right now. This is like, you stalk him. He's 99. There you go. Down him real quick, and now Disco's the only one that's left. He's gonna go get the unhook though. This is where the decision making is really important. He's gonna have borrowed time naturally. Oh, this is where I would go pick up the Nia. Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now what I would do, and then we'll see what you would do. I would go pick up the Nia because she's been down the longest, so she has the highest recovery bar. I would go pick her up and hook her. And then while you're hooking her, they're definitely going to go heal the other guy. So you can run over to them, and I'm pretty sure all 3 of them will be there. And you should be able to get 1 or 2 downs off that because 2 of them will be injured. Like Disco will be full health, but the other 2 will be injured. So that's what I would do. My strategy here would be go hook the Nia. After I hook the Nia, run back to the other survivor that's downed, and then try to get more map pressure. Let's see what you do. It looks like instead you're trying to get Disco. See, which is weird because he's full health. Like they just picked up the Nia. And they just picked up the other guy too. They just picked up both. Well, one of them must have had Unbreakable. I think Nia had Unbreakable is what happened. Yeah, I think Nia had Unbreakable. See, now all that map pressure you had is now gone, which is like a shame. That's where like sometimes like slugging is good, but oh my god, another good mind game. Good shit, man. That's where like slugging is good, but like again, if you do it too much, it gets a little bit, you can kind of throw like away all the pressure you have. Man, I love, I'm gonna be honest, I'm loving reviewing this footage. Like I'm literally currently working on a killer guide, and a lot of the stuff that I'm putting into this killer guide you were doing, and it's making me really happy. You know what, I'll see how this plays out, but before I even, you know what, no, before I even see how this plays out, what you do here, okay, you know he's like right here, like on like he's like on this half of this window, and you know that. So what you do, this is again like this goes right in turn with the whole zoning thing I said earlier. He's like right here, like waiting to see what you do. So if he sees you right now, if he sees you going this way, he's very obviously gonna run that way, right? So if you start to run this way and then turn around and vault the window, you'll vault the window right as he's going past the window, and you'll be vaulting like really close to him, and he won't have a lot of distance on you. This is like a perfect. Like now he doesn't have that much distance on you. He still might make it somewhere, but there's a lot of situations. Like even though it didn't work, and even though it didn't get you a hit here, that's a really good thing to do and like practice doing, because there's a lot of situations where that little thing that you just did will be the difference between them making it to a pallet and, you know, getting hit. So it's really unfortunate he threw that pallet. I guess you're deciding to leave him alone because, you know, probably the smart move. He's at a really strong area of the map. He's a good survivor. It's a pretty hopeless chase. You'd rather work on the gens. So you're gonna go chase him. Gonna stalk him a little bit. They pop all the gens. I mean, this is tough. This is definitely one of those games where it's like borderline impossible to win. Like you would have to play like perfect to get a win here. You really almost did earlier, like with all that slugging you had when you had all that pressure building up. All right, you're gonna stalk here. You got the expose on him, so that's good. You're gonna chase him down. There should be nothing here. You broke like 1,000 pallets over here, so there should be nothing here. Should be able to get that hit. Down she goes. Right. Are you gonna pick up? You gotta watch out. Okay, I was gonna say you gotta watch out for flashlights. Really smart of you to face the wall because you know someone has a flashlight. So, not getting flashlight saved. I'm surprised Disco didn't take a hit there. He could have taken a hit and completely got rid of his stock bar. But then again, I guess he doesn't see his stock bar, so I guess he doesn't know. You can stalk him real quick. Nice, get it down on him. Perfect. Well played. Perfectly played. See, again, he must not have known that his stock bar was 99%, so he didn't really realize how much danger he was in. I think he thought that he was fine. They unhook over there. You're gonna bring him over. What are they? They're building a wall. They are building a wall. I think you're gonna be able to get this hook though. Yep, she tried to bait you with dead hard, but you didn't fall for it. That was really smart. That's a thing that survivors do very often, where they'll like sit there and try to get you to swing and then dead hard at last second, but you seem like you're experienced and you know better, so you're gonna down the Nia. You know, this is actually nice. Down him. Okay. No, don't pick him up. Find the last guy. Find the last guy. Oh, you know what? This is also okay. You can maybe wait. You can maybe make this work, because the last dude is now going to be tempted to like come and heal the Nia. The Nia already used Unbreakable. We know that. Her Unbreakable is gone, so you don't got to worry about that. I feel like this dude is probably hiding and he's not going to come out. Like, he's probably sitting at a door, honestly. If he was smart, he'd be sitting at a door. But I'm really curious to see how this plays. I don't know. I'm not sure what he's doing. It depends. This is a really interesting way to handle this. You're hiding and you're, I guess, just listening to see if you can hear him or see him. He picked up Nia. Nia's going for the unhook. Gonna get the down on her, but she got the unhook, which is really unfortunate. You tried to get him with the same mind game, but he didn't fall for it that time. He window faked you. That's a really strong tile. I wouldn't chase. I would not chase this. Ooh, good play. Good fucking play, man. I honestly wouldn't have chased that, but you played that perfectly. Baiting a pickup to see if the teammates nearby. Really smart. Really smart. There's so much here that, like, I don't even know if I should explain all this. You're playing this really well. So here, I'll just rewind and talk about this for any like killers that maybe aren't at this level, that are like, what exactly is he doing here that's so perfect? So like here, this unhooked happened, which is a little, I still think you maybe could have ended the game had you went looking for the third guy instead of hiding and baiting him into coming in. But you know, but both strategies are risky, so I don't know. Like right here, I would say already off the bat, this pallet's still up. I know that this pallet's still up. They didn't use this. So this was really a big misplay on his part. Like, he played this kind of bad. What should have happened here, like, he faked that window, and you, like, didn't really fall for it. You, like, flinched for a second, and that's it. But right here, like, the fact that he didn't run to the pallet, like, there's a pallet right there. Like, he went for the window, which is much riskier, right? Because, like, when he goes for the window, there's two options. Either he vaults it and you can go to the other side and hit him, like, you know, like what happened, or he fake vaults it and doesn't vault it and is only pretending, in which case, if you predict that correctly, you just run at him and down him, right? So, like, the window is, like, the riskier play from his point of view, and the pallet is the safer play. Like, no matter what, if he goes and throws that pallet, you can't hit him. You have to kick that pallet before you can hit him, right? So I find it really weird that he misplayed this a lot. So, I mean, kudos to you for calling him out on it. I wouldn't have chased this because I would have assumed that he wouldn't have misplayed it. So maybe that's my fault. But you happen to come over, you see him going towards the window, you predict it perfectly, literally, chef's kiss. Fantastic mind games from Killer. And even this right here, she's under pallet. So a good thing to do if someone's under pallet is to walk up, pause for a second to, like, because you know, usually when someone's trying to pallet save, the second the killer walks up and stands still, they'll start running towards the pallet to try to get in position. So you're trying to bait that out. It doesn't look like it's happening, so you're gonna pick up. I mean, I just wanted to stop and say exactly what happened there, because you played that really well. You get her on the hook. That's your 4th stack of barbecue. Nice. I think you've downed that Neo like 4 times, and you finally hooked her for the barbecue stack. All right, he opened one of the doors. You can actually look and see if it's that door. I wasn't able to see, but dude, I think he had Unbreakable. He either had Unbreakable or he got picked up. No, I think he had Unbreakable. Yeah, he had Unbreakable. That's just really unfortunate. You down the Nia again? You might get DS for that though. That's a little hairy. You might get DS for that down. Yeah, she's bleeding out quite a bit. You go for a window vault. That's the same mind go. That's the same thing we talked about earlier, where you bait him into being in a bad position, which is good. The problem is that this pallet's still here. Again, like this is the ultimate problem, is that pallet. That pallet existing fucks you over immensely. Like, there's nothing you could really do about that. So again, I don't know why he didn't just go there right off the bat. All right, the Yui heals the Nia. It looks like you're just going to pick one and kill them, and then, you know, that's probably how the game's going to end, is you're going to pick one, kill them, and then the other ones are going to get out. I don't think they're going to be able to save them. You're shaking your head no. he just wants the flashlight save, man. You're trying to bait him into a flashlight save, but it doesn't look like he's falling for it. All right, gonna carry this Yui away. It looks like you might be able to. Okay, she's dead on hook, so that's gonna be it. I was gonna say you might be able to squeeze 2 kills out of this, but it looks like it might just be 1, and she's dead on hook. So yeah, that's only 1 kill. And honestly, yeah. That's it. They're gonna leave. Okay, I'm gonna be real. You played this fucking phenomenally. Like, this was a really good match as Killer. Even though, like, the end result wasn't good, you played this really good. Really good. I know a couple of those survivors. I don't know the Nia and I don't know the Yui, but I knew both Free Kill and Disco, and I know that they're good survivors. Yeah. Of course, man is the Nia, isn't it? The Nia? And need to bloodlust people is just embarrassing. You didn't even bloodlust them, what? Oh my, literally the Nia is like the worst player on this team. She probably played this the worst out of all of them, and of course she's the one that shit talks. That's hilarious. And yeah, I mean, yeah. Like, honestly, it seems like you have a good attitude. Like, you know, like, you're well aware that, you know, you weren't bloodlusting. You were just trying to play the loops right, and you just, you know, were getting played better than, like, I don't know. Like, they just got you with good mind games at some of them. But honestly, the whole match was played really well. And really, I don't consider this a loss at all. Like, if I was the killer of this game and you put me in this exact same scenario, Ghostface against these survivors on this map, and this was my end result, I would probably I wouldn't consider this a loss. Like, really, wait, did you pip? Do we see if you pip? I mean, you got 2 kills, so you killed half of them. You got almost 30k blood. You essentially got 30k blood points. for all intents and purposes, this is a win in my books, man. Like, this is definitely not a loss, IMO. Yeah, and I kind of agree that you maybe could have had him earlier. Again, like, they are getting all butthurt about you saying that, because I mean, that comes off as like, I don't think you meant it to come off that way, but you know, saying that to a group of survivors that you just play against makes them think that you're like being cocky. It looks like you safety pipped, which is really unfortunate that the rank system, I think this was before the change that was made to the emblem system as far as gatekeeper. So I think that's why. I think post emblem change it might have been better, but honestly, dude, you played this match really well. I don't really, there wasn't really a lot of mistakes. I think your only mistakes that I really saw was like there was a bit of a mistake at the way you played this one unsafe palette. Where even was that? The way you played this unsafe palette was kind of bad. Like you could have got hits here. Like, this palette is not that good, and you kept falling for window fakes. And even before it was thrown, you kind of got looped at it for like a solid second. Like, this was happening a lot where you were like respecting the palette a little bit, and then they would get another loop and shit. And you were like going for a mind game that wasn't gonna work because they can see you. I mean, I like that mind game maybe could have worked. I'll be honest. I'm glad you went for it, but I think you could have played this palette a lot better and a lot more straightforward. And I do think that strategy-wise, there was a couple of times where you could have maximized your pressure a little bit better. But honestly, you played this really good. Like, this is a tough map. This is one of the hardest maps to play as killer. And these survivors played this good. They like were really efficient. They got gens done. They were pretty good in chase. Like, this is one of those matches where as a killer, you're probably gonna lose, right? And you still managed to get a fuck ton of blood points, and you still managed to kill 2 of them. So honestly, phenomenal match. I think this whole footage is honestly more of a highlight reel of like what to do correctly as killer, as opposed to like what went wrong. This whole match was played perfectly. Anybody that's watching this, strive to be like this, man. Like, if you notice, like throughout this entire game, every single time that he was in a chase, he would try something, right? Like you're always trying things. That's really, really important. Like, you know how I was giving you shit for a minute ago for like trying that one mind game that doesn't work? Ignore past me, okay? Trying things mid-chase is the best thing you can do, dude. If you're just chasing people around holding W and not trying to do anything fancy, like, it's going to be so easy to play against you. But if you're constantly like trying things and doing like little mind games, like even just like these little like positional mind games with like the window vaults and stuff, that kind of stuff is huge, you know, and it got you a lot of hits this game, and it, you know, that gets killers hits in every game, and that's how you win games, is by tricking them and, you know, baiting them into being in a bad position. I don't really know. There's not really anything in particular I need to say. I think I'm just rambling on now. Thank you so much for submitting the footage. I really enjoyed reviewing this. I don't often review footage games where I just, you know, talk good about the person the whole time. Usually I'm shitting on them. But honestly, this was really good. This was a really good game. I really enjoyed watching it, and I hope people can learn from this, because there's definitely a lot to learn. Thank you so much for submitting. I just want to say, on my way out, remember, guys, that you guys can submit footage yourself for reviews. I actually am running low on footage. Please, 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 if you want to submit footage, do not send me games where you completely annihilate the other team. I'm not interested in like killer games where you 4K, especially if you're 4King at like with like 3 or 4 gens left. I can't even tell you how many people send me games like that. Like, that's not what I'm interested in. I'm interested in a game where you're making mistakes, right? I want a game where you make mistakes. This one game is kind of like interesting because I skipped to the end to see how many kills you got, and you only got 2. So I thought you were going to make a lot of mistakes, but you really didn't. But anyway, if you want to submit, join my Discord. It'll be linked beneath the stream. Send me a DM that is a YouTube video that's unlisted. Like, this is a YouTube video that was sent to me unlisted. Send it to me in a DM, and I will try to get around to doing more of these. I really enjoy doing these. And also, keep in mind that if you're going to review footage, be ready to get the absolute shit show that is YouTube comments, man. I feel so bad. Every single one of these videos just has YouTube comments shitting on the people. Like, oh god, it's so depressing, man. But anyway, thank you so much for submitting. I really enjoyed reviewing this. I really hope you guys learned a thing or two. Remember to leave the video a like and sub to the channel if you guys like the content, and I'll be putting out more videos like this as well as many others. And that's it. I'm gonna stop rambling. I'm gonna get out of here. Hope you guys have a good rest of your night. I'm out of here. See ya. Take care. See ya. I'm out of here. See ya. I'll see you later. See ya. I'm out of here. See ya.